Okay, I have some good news. So, this is crazy. It's December 2nd. It's Saturday. I had this IV drip injection on the 24th of November. The 24th of November around 11:30 in the morning is when my health started to change and I started to feel like I was having a cocaine overdose. I did not have any cocaine. I had this is what I had. I had maybe a couple of sips of a super strong coffee, just a couple of sips. But I do that all the time. Okay, I always drink like strong coffee. This was a little stronger, but okay. I had a little bit of vitamin B. I had some Juice Plus. Usual, usual day. All right. Then I had this IV drip injection. I didn't want it. And then I kept hearing, "Oh, you're gonna feel so great," so I did that. And then I kind of wrote it off as maybe anxiety or something. But I have had different supplements in my body. Remember, I am technically like a bodybuilder. I was technically like a bodybuilder doing professional training. All right. So when you are in that field, let me just tell you, Arthur L. Ray, the owner of ALR Industries, he died. I'm not saying he died from taking supplements, but I don't know. There's the writer of Atomic Fitness. He died. I'm not saying he died from necessarily taking supplements, but he did. He's my first health guidebook. Um, Ray Mazzilli, who I met through the same gym, Synergy, which I think was created by the owner of Atomic Fitness, who was also, I think he was Mr. USA, and he might have even been Mr. Universe title. So anyway, so Ray Mazzilli trained me for a while. Anyway, long fucking story short, I had this IV drip after just having my typical little coffee. And then I'd say maybe a couple of times a week I'll take a little bit of vitamin B. I'm very sensitive to it. I don't take a lot. So I asked the tech that I told him I took a few supplements. Is that okay? And he said, yes. And he said, he goes, something like, you'll just pee it out. Like if I have too much in my system, I'll just pee it out, referencing the IV drip. So, so I said, okay. So I'm like, I'll do the injection. So I said, okay, there's no side effects. He said, no side effects. So whatever. So now, long story shorter, because it's a really long story. I mean, this is like a 9-day story. The day before Thanksgiving, this is my house. I left right here. I made sure all my drinks in the kitchen. I made sure I was packed. And at about 3:45 in the morning on Thanksgiving, I left to go to Florida. The next day, after I landed, I wake up feeling kind of like $1,000,000. I ate 3 plates of food the night before. I totally carbo loaded. I got a good night's sleep. And then this happened. So that's November 24th. Today is December 2nd. And here we are. So we're December 2nd. I will tell the story of how I had a miraculous recovery. And now I'm getting ready finally. It's 4:01 p.m. This is day 9, I want to say, December 9th. 4:01, and here we are going to learn something if you don't know this already. Now, there's only a few people that I know that knew this because I have mentioned this and asked probably a dozen people if they've ever heard this, and only 1 or 2 people said, oh yeah, I heard of that. Everyone else was kind of like, what are you talking about? So because everyone said, what are you talking about, I feel compelled to make a video, because clearly only 1 out of 12 people in my world, and I'm surrounded by some pretty healthy people, know about this. So if you're ever sick, I read this in a book by David Avocado Wolf. I think it was called the Sunflower Diet or the Sun Diet or something. I read it 14 years ago. One of the things he recommended, David Avocado Wolf, was if you're ever sick, eat a whole cantaloupe. Just eat a whole cantaloupe. And there was some other stuff 14 years ago. I also read this somewhere else on some other site, not related to David Avocado Wolf. I also read that there's a direct correlation between the number and the amount of melons you eat, melons, honeydew, cantaloupe, watermelon, and how healthy you are, how vital you are. Now, I look kind of scary. I'm sure some of you are like, oh, you're kind of unattractive right now, but I don't really care. I want to show you exactly what my face looks like with no concealer, no mascara. I didn't curl my eyelashes. You know, usually when I do a video, I would say I try to do mascara. I do mascara and concealer. That's what I do before. I'd say like 80-90% of the videos that I do, or 70%. But now we're going real. This is the real deal. No makeup, nothing. Remember, I've been sick and sweating and shaking and convulsing for, I guess, 8 days, because today's day 9. So we're going to do this, blend this cantaloupe. My mom has pneumonia. So we're going to end this video because I wasted 5 minutes talking to you. But there's more important people out there. There are more important people out there than just my mom. Not necessarily there's more important people than my mom, but some of you are also important, so is my mom. So I'm going to take half this cantaloupe, half of it's for me, half of it's for my mom. I'm going to blend it, and I'm going to drop her off half of a blended cantaloupe. She's also going to get, and she doesn't know this because her and my dad aren't exactly best friends, she's also getting part of my dad's soup. My dad makes this miraculous soup. It's like a chicken broth vegetable soup. And every time I have it, every time, I put my word on that, every time, I feel healthier and more vital and better. So she got blended cantaloupe coming her way. Also, a chicken soup. Also, I ended up having tomatoes growing wild in my backyard because I obviously planted tomatoes and then they kept popping up. So I have bags of tomatoes from my backyard because I didn't want to waste them. I don't believe in wasting. So not only is she getting part of my dad's soup, she's also going to get part of my tomato soup. And I'm going to have some of my own tomato soup. And I'm going to give her some rescue cakes. So some of you guys know I used to sell these cakes. They're healthy cakes that you can eat cakes, lose weight, feel great. I used to sell them. I don't sell them anymore because, well, I wanted to do it proper. It's like a proper commercial kitchen, and I was making them like I was living in an apartment. I lived in a clean apartment. I'm OCD clean, but nevertheless, I was making them at home. And when you're making food, you want to make it in a commercial kitchen, blah, 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 blah. I'm almost 40. I want to do things right. So I don't sell rescue cakes, but my mom's going to get some. So here, this is the plan to get better. This is what we have here. The blended cantaloupe, the tomato soup, the regular soup, and let's show you my mom's serving. Oh, and watermelon. I'm going to also put some watermelon with the cantaloupe. I'm going to drop this off at my mom's house. She has very, 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 very bad pneumonia. She had leukemia before. She also had LASIK surgery. She was definitely healed for a while, and then she had LASIK, and that actually is fine. But now she's not healed again, so we got to fix her. Then I'm going to go to my grandma's. So here we go. And I will list the ingredients of the things that I had or in the items so you can easily do it yourself.